All right. Hey. So,
Yeah.
there we go.
Got it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for doing this.
Hi, friend. You're welcome.
How are you? You good?
Good. I miss your face.
I miss your face. Skin's looking very good there.
Shoot, man.
Shoot.
Or these new microbladed eyebrows that have gel on them. Let's not talk about it.
They look good. They look very good.
I
All right.
My teeth.
So you guys, I'm so excited for this. I'm going to give a quick intro and then I'm going to just pass it to you. So this is supposed to be, for our diamond and above leadership, or anybody that's really just pushing or like really hustling. And we've opened it to a few sideline teams. But we have some just really good questions. I just went to my leaders and I said, like, what do you want to pick Amber's brain about? And you guys, I look up to Amber so much as a leader. So if you haven't had the chance to connect with her, I'm just really excited for you to hear from her. And these questions are just so good. So I was hoping we could start with just your story and just, telling them about you. And then we'll just go right into the questions if that works for you.
Oh my gosh. This is like a reunion. Michelle, I see you. Oh my gosh. Catherine. Oh, Caitlin, Ashley, so many of my OGs from Canada. Oh, this is too good. This is too good. So first of all, thanks, Jack, for having me on. I have this whole rigged system with this new iPad, and I'm just going to scoot this forward. But hello, you guys. I am so excited to do this Zoom with you guys. I think there's nothing more valuable than being able to ask the specific questions that you need that's going to take your business from here to there. And so a little bit about me and my story is 7 years we've been in this business. And when I started, it was in August of 2012. And we were negative about $500 in the bank account. And I wanted the wraps. That was it. I didn't want a team. I didn't know that was a thing. I was one of those people who swore up and down I would never do a network marketing company, but I needed extra money. And, I was one of those people that would always say like, oh, I have a career. I'm a stylist. I don't need that. That's a scam. And yet the real scam was still being broke after working 60, 80 hours a week, and not having $99 even after working multiple jobs. And so when I found this on social media, I remember trying the wrap, just wanting the wrap. That was it. And it worked. And I was hooked. And I was like, dang it. Now, because I love the wraps, I have to share it with everybody. And so I did 2 hair appointments. I got my business builder kit in the mail, and I just started sharing my own personal results. That was it. It took me 45 minutes to launch my business, and that was 45 minutes of trying the wrap. I had one before and after picture, and I shared it with everyone. And so if you guys haven't used the products yet, get your own before and after pictures. You don't need 90 days. You need 45 minutes, and that's what took me, Ruby, in 45 days. I skipped Emerald and then went Diamond November 15th. So this month, this was 5 days ago, 7 years ago, November 15th, mid-month, because I didn't have an upline. I didn't have anyone who told me, hey, Amber, it's month's end. I was told there's a bonus. And if you hit it within your months to the date you sign up, which I signed up on August 15th. So I thought Diamond by November 15th. And so I went Diamond mid-month. And I'll teach you guys. And ever since then, I've naturally grown my business based.
Hey,
Jack, someone's yelling. And so I don't even know where I was at. Oh, Diamond 15th. So I have always run my business I only have 15 days out of my month. As a leader, my business should be done by the 15th. So I have the 15th through the 31st to focus on my downline. And I remember that Christmas, which we're coming up on Christmas. So maybe this is where you're at. Maybe this is where someone else is at. But, struggling with 2 kids to even pay for Christmas, my parents paid for it. And I vowed in that moment, never again. I was done. that my parents were not going to fund my kids' Christmas anymore. I'm an adult, and if I have 2 kids, surely I can afford them. And that's what really hit me after going diamond, was that it still wasn't enough. And that's where 90% of America is that even an extra $1,000, you guys, is still not going to be enough for them to make a little leeway in their cushion. And so I had a couple team members on my team, obviously at that point, who wanted to go to conference, and I couldn't afford it. And so I said, have fun. Tell me how it goes. And one of my sweet downline bought my plane ticket to go to conference. And she said, just pay it forward. And so I didn't know food. I didn't know hotel. I didn't know anything else. I just committed to go to conference. And that's scary. To not only allow a friend to like pay for something for you, that's embarrassing, but to know that like that changed my whole life. By the time I committed, and once I knew that I was there, I was going to be there regardless of what happened, everything in my business took off. I'm talking recruiting went up. Everything went up from there. And so I attended conference in January, and in that moment, I remember looking at my downline and thinking, this has nothing to do with me and everything to do with everyone else. And so I helped enough people get what they wanted, and I was double diamond for 1 month, triple diamond after. So conference took my income from about $1,700 to $18,000 in 1 month after conference. And, but you have to change too. You know, this business is a growth process. And so then I was triple diamond in 8 months, and a year later we went Prezi. About a year after that, we went ambassador, and we've been retired since June of 2013, which is crazy to think about. You know, we've had ups, we've had downs, we've had goods, we've seen the bad, we've seen the ugly, we've seen the best of the best, and learned a lot along the way. So last January, almost a year ago, corporate asked us to be field liaisons, and that's just kind of the voice for the company, and help anyone and everyone, basically. And so that's where we're at today, and that's how I was able to connect with Jackie and the Canadians, and I'm so excited, and I just love what I do. It's truly who I am, and I'm excited to share these questions with you guys. And now we get to homeschool our kids with an entrepreneur program. Like so much of our life has changed just because of this business. So that's my story.
I love it. You're so awesome. Okay, guys, well, let's just go right into these questions. So again, for those of you guys that have hopped on, these are all based around leadership. So just keep that in mind as we're answering them. But question number 1 is how do you demonstrate leadership to your new distributors, and how do you encourage, you know, people that you view as leaders to step into a leadership role in this business?
You know, it's hard. Okay. Leaders are built, they're not born. And so somebody said this to me a while ago, and they said, you know, it's interesting that we'll spend 6 months to a year to 3 years working on a distributor, getting them into the business. And then once they're in, you don't even give them the time of day. You get your fast start and you toss them to the wind. That is not okay. And that's not something that I do. Something that I take pride in is that I'm not a mass recruiter, but I'm a quality. And for me personally, if I can't remember their name, I've enrolled too many. And number 2 is if I can't give them one-on-one attention, it's too much. And so, and whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But that's just the way that I do it. And I see every single person in a leadership position, and whether they want part-time or full-time. Now, remember, when I started, I swore I wasn't going to do the business. So don't worry about me. I'm just going to be your qualified leg. So don't discredit the people who say that. You don't know. They're built. They don't believe that they're going to be a leader. Did anyone sign up and say, hey, I want to be a triple diamond leader and I want to have thousands of people on my downline? I didn't, that's for sure. Some will, but most won't. And so I try and put everyone in a leadership position, and I don't look at the length they've been in or the title that they hold. Leadership to me is action. It's not a title. There are, you know, plenty of rubies that I feel like are already ambassador and they just haven't hit the title yet. And so if you can, when they start, instill that they're a leader. I believe in you. Like, you get to borrow my belief and run in this company. And so trying to just make sure that they are on, like, in communication with you one-on-one, and trying not to overwhelm them, but also remember that your team will do half of what you do. And so why would I expect them to do above and beyond if I'm not either? So those are kind of some of the things as far as leadership. Tell them up front, like, this is a leadership position. Are you willing to X, Y, and Z? And I was actually thinking today, I'm like, I'm going to come up with a survey to interview, because this business, you guys, may not be for every single person at the time. It is for anyone and everyone, but it's just their time. And so coming up with a way to qualify them and be willing to say no. Maybe right now it's just not your time, and that's okay. Let's be a customer. Or say, you know what, I believe in you. And if you're willing to do 8 out of 10 of these things, I'm willing to put you in a leadership position and coach you. And so instilling that belief in them is crucial.
That's so good. This kind of, I'm looking at one of the next questions, and it kind of piggybacks on that. So their question was, so tips on building leadership within your team, but then do you do separate things for the people that are showing up as leaders, even if they're not a leadership rank, the people that are like, showing up as a leader, instead of like, are you doing separate things with them versus the things that you're doing with the masses?
Yeah, I think with anything, I can only go at the pace that you're willing to go. And so am I going to spend 80% of my day with somebody who has ignored 27 messages, hasn't posted, hasn't, been in communication with you? Probably not. 80% of my day, 7 years in, is still focused on brand new. 80% of my day. That means 20% is filled with Zooms, trainings, one-on-one, post, those kind of things. But 80% of my day is filled with personal development and new. And because if what happens is we get stuck on the distributors that have been in, and just because they're in a box for you, they don't have to be the one. And chances are they're probably not. And so I dig deep within my organization. Just because you don't hold the title yet, do I do anything different? Not really. I match their efforts. And I just take everything with a grain of salt. If somebody as a Ruby is like, I'm going to go ambassador tomorrow when I wake up, I'm like, okay, cool. And if somebody says, I quit, I say, okay, cool. Like, you just have to have no expectations of it, and then otherwise it'll knock you out. And so I say treat everyone as an ambassador already. Chances are they're wanting to quit or pull back or not engage as much because they don't believe it. But you as a leader should be instilling that belief in them, right? Mm-hmm. So, and your rubies are your future diamonds, unless you want to stay exactly where you are. Mm-hmm. Your executives, your distributor who signed up 2 days ago is your future ambassador. In my mind anyways, that's what I believe. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I love that. And I think too, to add on to that, it's like people get inspired by vision. So like, you really do need to be casting vision, because your new distributors, how are they supposed to know? Because they have, like, you know what I mean? They don't have vision. Like, that's so good. Okay. So this person says, I would love tips on getting my team motivated and staying consistent. I know you can't make people do anything, but I would love some tips.
So, I think as a leader, we've tried everything. We've done the boom contest. We've done, host to post giveaways. We've done double Christmas cash. We've done so many things, but ultimately, and maybe this is like super red of me, nobody offered me anything besides my paycheck. So why should my team be waiting for like an extra $1,000 bonus or a big host to post giveaway, right? Like, nobody handed me anything. Like, my motivation is my paycheck. So, and maybe I'm just like, y'all, I've had a day, so I might be a little bit more red than yellow tonight. But when you want to motivate them, you move first. Okay. So I can't motivate my team. That's like if you read any books, like, you just won't be able to motivate them, but you can inspire them. And how am I inspiring my team if I'm not welcoming new distributors? if I'm not enrolling and completing my steps to success, if I'm not consistently posting, if I'm not showing up to Zooms and having them, have FOMO, basically, that they just missed out on this epic Zoom, I say inspire, but number one. Number two, when you move, they'll go or they won't. And you'll find that, I remember an ambassador saying, she was like, my sister basically looked at me and said, I'm going with or without you. Are you in or are you out? And she was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, you're going somewhere? I'm coming too. And her sister picked up and ran with her and is now ambassador top 50 income earner. But if you depend on the ones that got you here to get you there, you're going to be here for a long time. And that is a hard reality check when we have been coasting on residual income for a year. Maybe you've been sitting at double diamond and you're like, dude, I'm good. I'm so good. Bills are paid. But the ones that got you here will not take you there. And it was amazing to me, building this the second time around, Ambassador 2.0, I'm thinking the people who got me to double diamond in 2015 are not going to take me double ambassador in 2020. So let me wipe my chart clean mentally for me and start over. I have nobody. I have no ambassadors. I have no presidentials. I have no triple diamonds. And what would I do? I would run. And you're going to have people who are your OGs want to go with you, and they'll be more inspired to move and do the same thing right alongside you, not wait for you. So motivate, can't. Inspire, get to work.
Mm-hmm. So this just kind of to piggyback off this again, but like, so if you're doing action to inspire, so you're obviously super consistent with what you do, but would you say if you enroll 10 distributors, 10 people are being inspired by you, or do you still have people that quit?
Oh, come on. All day, every day. 1 in 100. Like, come on. Yeah. But again, for me, one of the things that I think has kept my head above water for 7 years is taking off it's personal fault if somebody leaves, quits, stops working, whatever you want to call it. To me, every distributor in my downline is working because they have an active account. And therefore, I'm not bitter, pissed off, angry, upset, pulling people like, come on. Because in my mind, every single distributor is working to their degree that they think is possible. Okay. Now, are they working to the degree that I know? No. But if I can just have that belief that they're still active, they're still working, then it takes off the frustration, and frustration builds fear, and fear will paralyze you. And so do I want to be frustrated and go into fear-based and then be paralyzed and stay at double diamond for 3 years? No. So if I enroll 10, I would say on average, if I'm giving 10, which you guys, for me, I've never been a mass enroller, 3 distributors, steps to success is how I went ambassador, and I duplicated that. It's harder for me to teach enroll 10 than it is to enroll 3. And so duplication is key, and the compound effect is everything. So if you teach them and inspire them, like my steps to success are done, come on, and run contests and reward the good behavior. But if I'm enrolling 10, I would say less than half actually sticks around for 3 months or longer.
Thank you.
And that could be off too. There's months I enroll 2 and they're gone the very next month. But that's not for me to decide. Mm-hmm. It's my job to take them where I think they can go with their efforts and coach them. I can't control everything. And is it going to do me any good to whine at them? No. But that's why for me, 3 works better. I can hang on to 3. I can remember 3 and I can give 3 undivided attention for 3 months straight. But I can't, the months that I enrolled upwards of 20, 30 distributors, it was so selfish of me. And again, nothing wrong with mass enrolling. If you can do it, do it. For me personally, as yellow, I would rather take 3 people, ruby, emerald, diamond in 3 months, personally. But how fast do you want to, if I told you that it took, you had 10,000 cups and underneath one cup, there was a diamond that was worth 50 grand. Would you flip over the first 10 and just be like, oh, I didn't find it. It's okay, whatever. Or would you sit there and you flip over 10,000 cups to find that one diamond? And so how long do you want to take to get to find that diamond in the rough? And the best thing about our business is I can build those diamonds, you know? And so do you want to take 3 years to flip over 10,000 cups, or do you want to take a month? Do you want to take 6 months? And that's kind of the process. Is a lot of people tell me, they're like, well, I just don't want to recruit because gosh, everyone I recruit like doesn't work. Well, that's because you've only recruited 3 in the last year.
Yes.
Sorry. Like, get on it and move through those numbers quicker. It might be the last 10 that you flip over. It might be the first 10, but I'm still going after those 10,000 cups. I'm about to find another diamond. But just because I flip over this 10,000 cups and run through those 10,000 people doesn't mean I don't find tons of rubies and tons of emeralds and ambassadors. But you got to be willing to go fast. This business loves speed. So duplicate out.
And I think too, like, I'm just going to add on to this again, like, whenever I find myself getting in a situation where I'm like, man, like, I've enrolled, 5 people and they're not, they're, I don't want to say duds, but listen, it's a safe place. They're whatever.
Same. Call them what you want.
It's like you actually, and I really learned this from Amber, like having an abundant mindset in the sense that like there are ambassadors out there that have not even enrolled yet. And so it's like, what makes us not qualified to get them? Oh my gosh, I get chills even thinking about it. Where this really clicked for me was flying in an airplane once. I was just high enough to like see the lights underneath, but I could, anyways, I was like, there are so many people here. Like, there's so many people here that are going to want what we have, and we just have to find them. And the longer, okay, anyways, I'm fired up. Okay, I have been stuck. I'm going to mute people here for 1 sec, then I'm going to unmute you again. So excited. Okay, I have been stuck at Diamond for months, and every time I get close, I always miss it. How do I push through being stuck at a rank?
Okay. This one's going to sting. Okay.
Whoopsie daisy.
First of all, you keep talking about it. Number 1. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, they say 1% make it in network marketing because they have a CEO mindset, not an employee mindset. And if you are stuck at a certain level, whatever level it is for you, that's because, and I want you guys to think of like, hang on, like I was cold before, but I'm getting heated real quick. Okay. So before, I see Caitlin dying. Okay. So you sit here and you have this employee mindset. Okay. And this is truth, right? When I was a stylist, and I want you guys to think like in your own life, when I was a stylist, I felt like my career, I was going to be a Redken educator. I had it geared up. They make this amount of money. And in my mind, that was the degree that I thought I was worth. Okay. So number 1 is diamond, double, ruby, whatever that is. What is that rank? The highest vision you ever knew for your career. Yes or no? Drop it in the chat. Think about that. Gosh, I'm a stay-at-home mom, man. I never thought moms got paid $1,000 to be mom. But that's where I think. Were you a cashier at Target and you made X amount of dollars and now you're here and you can't get past there? What is the job that you had before this that created that ceiling for you that said, that's all you're worth? And don't you dare make a penny more. $1,000. Shoot, you want 2? That's selfish. Where did that come from? Okay, so for me, I went ruby in 45 days, For sure I was worth more than $500. Diamond in 3 months. Oh yeah, totally. I knew with my hustle in high school, I worked 3 jobs to make that. Okay. And then as a stylist, like, look, I'm getting hives, y'all. Like, this is real. Okay. But this is real to me. And I've been there, and I just broke through another ceiling, and it scares the snot out of me. Right. So what is that ceiling for you? And who do you have to become to get past that? I'm not a stylist. I'm not a Redken educator. That was not my life calling. That was a dream of mine. God had a different plan. My plan now is untouched. My plan now is endless. Okay? And so when I reached triple diamond, and I was there for a year, so whatever that level is, you're going to hit those ceilings, and I'll promise you'll hit them again, and you'll hit them again, and you'll have to grow through that. Okay? When I was triple diamond, on average, about $18,000 a month, right? That's what I thought I was ever worth. And that was too much. If I'm going to be super transparent, it was too much money for me. In my mind, I was always taught you were supposed to be here. People with money are bad. People with money do bad things. Who are you? And at triple diamond, I was triple diamond for a year, and I had to break through that ceiling of like, I'm worth more than this. And then I went presidential, and then guess what happened, guys? There was another ceiling. And I was like, oh, no. In my mind, I knew I had to grow into ambassador. I had to grow into that mindset. I had to change my circle. I had to drop so many people I thought were my friends, when really behind closed doors, they were bashing me. I had to move in order to grow. And so, and then you go ambassador. And then guess what? You hit another ceiling. And then if I'm going to be honest, you, at least for me, I started to think, what the heck am I going to do with this kind of money? What do I even do with it? And if you don't plan for it, it won't happen. And so now here we are going double ambassador. And I'm thinking, who do I have to become? I haven't even met my 2.0 ambassador team yet. I haven't even met my best friends. And that to me keeps me going. But more importantly, if you are stuck at whatever level, it's time to grow. And we all know growing pains suck. And so get ready to be knocked down one day and lifted back up the next day, and be ready for everything to fall apart in your life when you declare and you say, I want $85,000 a month. $85K a month. You better believe the devil will come in and try and tell you you're not worth it. I'm telling you right now. So when it happens, you can't be like, I don't know why this is happening. I'm telling you it's going to happen. But that's why 80% of my day is growing my mindset, growing my tools, my systems, my belief, like growing my systems, my sales, my marketing, like everything. It sucks some days, guys. But what do I want? Do I want to go back to where my lights were shut off? No. Do I want to go back to where my parents paid for my kids' Christmas? Absolutely not. And so do you want to have growing pains south, or do you want to have growing pains that are good? Right? It's time to grow.
Write that down.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Sorry. Not sorry. Okay. This is a good question. I feel like a lot of people can use this. I am almost double, but I feel like my team doesn't view me as the leader. For advancement, is it important that I change that, and how do I?
A lot of it is a fixed belief. And for whoever this is, and you guys, I'm sure if you guys can relate to that question, just raise your hand in the chat, right? Most of the time, these are beliefs that we have. Unless someone's came to you and been like, hey, Rachel, you suck as a leader, and I don't view you as a double diamond leader. That's not true. We think and put fixed beliefs on our team. That's not true. They're just simply not. And I will tell you, there's been so many things in my business and in my life where I could easily be like, oh, suck as a leader. Yep. Someone else showed me up. Ooh, you know, this leader got to her before I did. Wow. I really suck. Is that true? No. No. Period. So your team, ask them. Like, good leaders are so open to feedback, and it stings sometimes. Like, it sucks. But if you're not willing to change it, you're causing it, right? And so ask your team, how can I show up for you better? And I'll tell you the way that you can show up to them better is start getting back to your steps of success and inspiring them to move mountains. Because a lot of times too, I feel like if people know that you need them, they stop working. Whereas for me, in my mind, again, on the first of the month, I have no team. That in my mind, I have no team. How do I start over? What do I do? Who do I become? What do I study? Who haven't I enrolled yet that are going to be my next diamond leader? And so again, that team will not take you triple diamond. Go find the team that's going to take you triple diamond. Some of them will. Some of them will totally be around with you. I have leaders that have been so loyal for 7 years. But why would I be so selfish to depend on them to build my business? That's not okay. And then I can sit back and just manage? No. Nope. So usually the belief is made by you because you feel like the turnaround on that would be you feel like you're a bad leader to them or they don't take you as a double diamond leader. Touche?
Dang, that was good. Okay. What are the qualities of leadership in this business? I feel like I'm coming off as a boss. How do I ensure I'm acting as a leader and not a boss? Dude, these questions are good.
They're so good because they're so true. They're so true, right?
They're genuine. They're very genuine.
Yeah. Well, I always think I have to treat people how I want to be treated. And I didn't sign up for this to have a boss. So if you feel like you're bossy, chances are you are. And nobody likes that. I mean, think of everyone has to turn their mind into a CEO mindset, not an employee mindset. And for me, being HR manager at Target, I flipped salons, I've been manager of a salon. I came into this with a boss mentality. And that was hard for me to adjust and treat my whole entire team. We're equal. I am not your boss and I am not your upline. Like, I am your partner in this business and I will do exactly what you do and match your efforts. And so if you feel like your boss, go and study how to be a leader, how to win friends and influence people. How do I show up as a leader? What are leadership qualities versus boss qualities, right? And there's simple things that can change in the way that you word it. So you're not saying, like, I don't enjoy, it's very rare. My team knows that it is, but it's very rare that I'll tell them that they get to do something. I will share what I'm doing and enroll them in that vision. Not everyone will, but some will. But if I say, hey, Caitlin, you have to be on this Zoom and you have to enroll 6 customers this week and you have to do that, I'm sorry, I'm out. Like, don't talk to me that way, first of all. Number 1. Number 2, you're not my boss. Don't tell me how to run my business. Inspire me. Hey, Caitlin, I'm so excited for you to get that $100 shopping spree. Would you like to with me? Those kind of things. We lets us, not you, me, no, it's leadership is we lets us. And so when you're talking to people, be sure to use those words. I don't want to tell anyone. I want to work together with them. And I think that will really shift your business. When you take off the, like, I'm not their boss and they don't have to listen to me at all. In fact, I did tell my team, all my leaders, that they must download the book Build to Last recently because it's so good. And again, some did and some didn't. I'm not concerned with the ones that didn't. I'm excited for the ones that did.
Dude, that's so good. Okay, this is another good one. I'm like crossing these off. I'm trying to like string these together and so they make sense.
Good, dude. I love it.
How do I not let the seasons of how I'm feeling in my business like trickle down to my team? So I think what this person means, like if I'm feeling stuck or I'm feeling in a rut, like how do I not pass that down to my team?
So this is where that growth comes from, right? Growth sucks. It hurts. It's not very fun. This morning, for instance, I was so frustrated with who knows what was going on with whatever. Okay. I was so frustrated. Like, I'm talking like, I'm like, my iPad's not working. The website's not working. I was like, I'm freaking done. Like, I'm done. Like, tossing the towel for the day. I'm done. Like, this is so annoying. I'm so irritated. And then I go to Walmart grocery pickup and I'm sitting there for 40 minutes with no service, by the way, because there's not service over there. And I'm just like, ooh, this is testing me. I'm gonna get out of the car and like go get my own groceries out of grocery pickup. Like, this is crazy to me. And immediately when I felt that rut or that irritation or whatever you want to call it, whether it's depression, whether it's you're grouchy or it's that time of the month, whatever it is, in those moments, which again, I will always learn and I am always open to a new possibility, I had to be like, hey, Amber, what are you supposed to learn here? What am I supposed to learn here? And do I want to stay in that rut place, okay, pissed offness, whatever it is, how long? Is Walmart going to make me in a better mood? And me going home and my kids make me in a better mood? Is my husband going to make me in a better mood? No, me. And if I'm causing it, I can control it. And a lot of this, we think, I did not control that. I did not cause this depression. I did not cause this pain. I did not cause this anxiety. I did not cause this frustration. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And when I sat there and I thought, how did I cause this? Well, Amber, you scheduled a grocery pickup the same time as the Zoom, and now you're late. Congratulations. Is it Walmart's fault that I'm late? No, it's fine. And so what did I learn from this rut? Now, again, and I came home and I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Amber, shift. You have kids, you have a husband, you have a Zoom to get on. Like, did that ruin your day? No. Okay, move. Like, and something that I do that really works well for me, and you guys might think I'm crazy and a little bit psycho, but the energy that we have around us, again, whatever it is, I take 3 to 10 deep breaths, however long it takes me, 27 if I need to, and I stand there and I just breathe, and then I literally take a step left and 1 step forward, and I'm no longer in that frustration. And I might have to do it again, literally step, like I take my feet and I step left. That's your guys' right. I step left, whatever that way that is for you. I step left and I step forward and I'm done. And so you get to choose how long you want to stay in these funks. Because I will promise you, if I plan on doing this business the rest of my life, I'm always going to have a Christmas vacation during this business. I'm always going to have my period when I'm in this business. I'm always going to have my kids that are irritating the crap out of me on 4 days a week in this business. And so how do I deal with it? This isn't going to be the only and the first and the last and you're like, oh, I'm good. No, it will happen again. And you get to decide, how do I let go of this? Is this what I want? Is this going to get me where I want to go? If the answer is no, then period, the end, drop it, move. Like, move. Get up, get out of the house. Get out of your chair that you're sitting in. It's not that hard, but it's that you haven't grown through that yet. And it will be funerals. It will be your dog is passing. It will be, life will happen. How are you going to deal with it? Or are you waiting for someone else to come save you? They won't.
So good. Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like let's go. Okay, I like this question. What has caused the biggest shift in your business? Like it's something maybe that you've done internally. Are these deep? I'm like, where are these coming from? Well, I know where they're coming from, but I can't tell you because they're anonymous.
Oh my God. I'm like, tell me who said this? Who said this? Just kidding. What was the biggest shift for my business? That's a loaded question. Because in the beginning, I feel like it was my before and after pictures. They're still up there. You guys don't even go look at that album. It's wretched. And I was so fat. It's ridiculous. But that took me diamond in 3 months. And so I had to that was a shift that I made that was like, I'm done being miserable. And I'm committed, not to a business, to my health. And then the business came. And so that might be where you're at. And that's the shift that you need to make, is that you haven't gotten serious about the products and you're still in the same situation you were 3 years ago when you started. That doesn't stop. I'm currently working on a new before and after picture. I'm 120 pounds. What do you mean I'm working on another before and after picture? Yes, ma'am, because I'm constantly using these products. What do I need to do? Hello, can we talk about how my hair has grown in like a year? Like, I'm always being a product of the product. Okay, so maybe that shift happened in the beginning. And then changing my circle. That one hurt the worst. It sucked in the moment. And once I changed my circle, my possibilities. And this was from who I was seeing on social. This was from who I was listening to on podcasts and audibles, and who I was making vacations with to hang out. So change your circle. And then I would say studying every single day and executing. You can sit here and listen to all the audible books in the world, but if you don't execute, who cares? The book I'm reading right now, the guy said that he is super successful and he does a 7-minute workout in the morning will produce the same results as hours in the gym. And I'm like, I ain't got no time for hours in the gym, but I'll do 7 minutes. I'm open to that. Right. And so that was a shift. My mindset, the belief, who I reached out to for coaching for me changed. And then I think too, realizing the team that I deserve, the qualities, who are they? Have I even met them? Or, I had this talk with one of my leaders one time. It was a shift that happened in our business. And, she says, whoever needs to hear this is going to hear it. She said, I'm so good at getting loyal customers. I just can't get distributors. I was like, okay. So how many distributors do you want? She's like, 3 would be great. Can I get an amen? 3 would be great. And I said, okay, what does your daily schedule look like? What does your week look like? And she tells me. And I'm like, so if I was a new distributor and I wanted to join your team, you would have no time to train me. You would have no time to be there for me. Your schedule is jam-packed and you have no openings for a team. She was working 3 jobs because she could. And she's like, I don't have any kids, right? And I said, would you be open to quitting 1 job and opening up the chance for your schedule to be able to coach 3 distributors a month? She was like, yeah, totally. I can quit a job. I can quit 2. So let's start with 1. Y'all, immediately following her quitting 1 of her 3 jobs, she started signing up mass amounts of distributors. And this is like studies proven. If you're single and you want a spouse, yet your bed is completely covered in your stuff, your closet is completely full, and you have no space for a partner, it's not going to happen. If you don't open up the space to train your new team, not going to happen. If your schedule is like from sun up to sundown, I'm slammed, I'm so busy. Well, why don't you start writing in there, meet with lunch with a new rep? and watch God work in his ways. And so that shifted for me, that it was like, okay, I'm so busy. Am I, or am I just wasting time? And so this new year with my goals, I've already teed up the times as if it's already happened to travel the world, to train team, to do road trips, to do pop-up shops. But if you don't plan ahead, surely the universe is not going to open up with your response. And so where in your life do you need to become more disciplined, open up time, create less chaos, schedule more? Where is that? If you sit here and tell me I have 1 hour a week that I can work this business, but I want 10 distributors, something's got to give. And so that was a huge realization even for me, that was like, hey, if I want this, do I even have the space for it? Okay. And then another shift for my business and success was the faith. I didn't have any of it before I started, and this company allowed me to grow a relationship with the Lord. And I'm so genuinely grateful for that. Like, it's completely changed my life. And I never knew that I needed it. And so maybe that's where you're at, where you're like, no, I'm still, this is me. All my success is mine. Oh, to heavens, it's not. And so growing my relationship with the Lord has also made a huge shift, because I've had to rely on faith, man. Like, I've had to surrender so many times and be like, hey, I can't do anything else. Like, if this is going to happen, you got to help me out. And so all those major shifts, moving, dreaming, setting goals, like building our pool and paying cash for it, that really shifted my mindset. But if you don't have a goal and you're like, I'm planning on staying in this house, in this same car, and these same clothes for the next 27 years, well, you're darn right. And I have to leap before I can see that net, you guys. So many times you want to see the net and want to be like, oh, it's going to be okay. It'll be there. You're never going to jump. You got to leap, and then the net always appears. And so where's your faith at right now? Are you going to set a goal so high that you're like, people would laugh at me if I told them this? Well, let them laugh. But then you got to have the faith behind it to wake up every day early, to get your body right, to get your mindset right, to have the structure to go there. That's all, I think.
So good. I know people
So
are
many
fired up by this. I'm seeing on both, like, chat, my phone chats. People are pumped. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is all so good. I feel like rude just going to the next question. I'm like, I just want to ask you more questions on this, but I feel
you could ask anything you want.
Okay. Tips for how are you starting your new distributors?
I'm sorry, you broke up. I think you said, how do I start new distributors?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. So here is the deal. Everybody wants the secret sauce. They want to know what do I do if I just did this with my distributors? They'd hang on for a year and they'd all be ambassadors tomorrow, right? That's really what we want. You guys, I have done everything in every way, and I've tried things on, and the way that I do things now is not the way that I did it 6 months ago, is not the way that I did it 6 years ago. And I have to be, as a leader, you have to be adaptable, and you have to be willing to change and understand that, like, okay, that's not working anymore. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So what you're doing with your distributors is not working if you're asking that question. So clear the page, right? Delete it all. Start over. And this is kind of something I'm working on for 2020 for the field, but the system is simple. Okay, we get paid to do 2 things: sign up customers and sign up distributors. Okay, so the next part of that would be steps to success. So for my new distributors, I teach them immediately download the app. If you guys do not use the Connect app, you're missing out on such a simple way to build your business and have plenty of time to recruit customers and distributors. Okay, so download the app, watch the training videos. Do I need to make all my own training videos? Nope. Corporate's done it for me. So if you are I would say even a triple diamond or below, you should not be making training videos. You should be focused on recruiting. That's it. New distributors bring in new volume. So download the app, print your steps of success, and then I ask questions. A lot of us are so conformed into our business that we think, well, it's worked for me, it's got to work for everyone. That's not true, right? And so ask questions. And in the mind, the psychology of selling is I can understand and comprehend 2 questions at a time. And so let's say I'm going to launch Caitlin. She's downloaded the app. She's watched the training videos. I'm going over the steps of success, what it means, what's all included in that. Okay. And then I'm going to ask Caitlin, okay, our first goal is 4 customers. How do you want to get those customers? Do you want a text, phone call? Which one? I'll text. Perfect. And do you want to make a post on Instagram or Facebook? Instagram. Okay. And do you want to make a story about the coffee or the hair, skin, and nails? 2 questions, guys, 2 questions. And she's going to choose out of those questions. Do I care if she posts on Instagram or Facebook? No, either one, both work for me. Do you think I care if she posts about coffee or hair, skin, and nails? No, both work for me. But as a new distributor, they need to feel like they're not thrown out of their comfort zone, but they grow out of their comfort zone. And so if you ask them questions how they want to do this business, they'll do it. And some of them will say, I'm not going to post until I get my product. Be okay with it. All right. And then just know in the back of your mind, you're going to have to push it harder when their kit comes, if they're wanting to wait. Okay. So, and then do you want to message your friends and family, or would you rather message all your following on Instagram? Which do you want to do? So ask them questions and then teach them the words that give them, if she says hair, skin, and nails, I'm going to give her the top to bottom close on the hair, skin, and nails script of what she needs. So she sees this is so simple. And then we're going to work on her distributors. Okay. So who in this business would you want to travel with? If you could go on any vacation, who would you want to travel with? Oh my gosh, Courtney, for sure. Like, she is my jam. Courtney and I travel all over the world. It's just so great. Courtney, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's reach out to Courtney. I personally am not telling my team to come up with 1,000 list of people, because if somebody told me that when I started, I'm out. Mm-hmm. I'm out. A list of 10, 20, see how fast they get it done, and then stretch them a little bit more. All right, dude, you did 20 in 30 minutes. Can you make a list of another 50 people in the next 10 minutes? Mm-hmm. Challenge them. You guys, this is how leaders are built, when you ask questions. But if I sign up a distributor and I'm like, I love Host to Post, it's the greatest thing, I'll message 6,500 people a day, and they're like, I only have 12 followers and I don't want to make a post, they're out. And so a lot of times we've killed their success before they've even tried, because we've taken them from, I'm already uncomfortable signing up and doing a business because I'm not a boss, but now I have to be uncomfortable and send messages, and now I have to make a post. What are people going to think about me? Slow and steady always wins the race. And then get in front of them. Zoom, face-to-face if you can, because the eye contact is your contract. And I will tell you that the people that I meet up with or Zoom with within the first month, they last way longer than anyone that I just sign up on social and I'm just creating a relationship via inbox, because they can hide so fast, so fast. I hope that answered the question.
Dude, you are like blowing everyone's mind right now. My phone is like, oh my gosh. I'm getting just a lot of, oh my gosh. Okay. This is so good. Is there anyone else fired up by this? I'm just wondering. Can we do the whole put a 1 in the comments? Okay. All right. Okay. So what is the biggest, we have maybe 6 more. Is that cool?
Cool. Yeah. Let's go. Come on. We're getting ready for 2020.
All right. Let's just go all the way to 2020. Just joking. What is the biggest lesson that you've learned as a leader?
That I suck. Legit. You guys, that I'm not the best leader. There is. And I don't ever want to be the best because I always want to grow. And I think if you as a leader think that you are like, I will outsell, out hustle, outwork, out lead, like in my mind, I have to have that mindset just to keep going. But one of the hardest lessons as a leader is that I have to learn and that I don't know everything and I don't have all the answers. And the hardest part of leadership is what I want to say and what I have to say. What I want to say a lot of times isn't what I'm supposed to say. And sometimes you got to zip your lips and just say, okay, how do I word this to make it not rude or, open and honest and loving as a yellow. And so that's hard as a leader, but I've made so many mistakes and I will. I'm not perfect. But that was a hard lesson to learn, was that I'm not the greatest leader for everyone. I do the best I can with what I have, but I'm still open to learning. So.
Dude, this is so good.
I don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right. Yeah. Dude.
Jack, you look super cute, by the way.
I look cute?
Yeah.
This is my, I haven't showered in 4 days.
Same.
It's crazy what a little headband can do for you. Okay, so this is kind of like an intense one. I actually had this come on as we were talking in a chat here. And it says, so they're in chats with leaders, and I don't know if this is their leaders or leaders. And there's just negativity when it comes to the money. Sometimes they complain about their paycheck, or they have their same leaders every same month being I'm not happy, or my team's not working, or when it's when there's what I'm understanding is when there's trying to be conversations for how they can help, it's just nothing, it's just negative. How as a leader to that are you maneuvering through that?
So this is, I wouldn't say it's normal because I don't experience it, but I think too, your team will go off of your vibe. And so if I'm sitting here oh, here I go again, same check for the last 11 months, cool, still working, cool, still no raise, cool, still broke, you bet your team's going to think like that, right? But I set the expectation, and again, listening to Craig Groeschel's leadership podcast, he says, if you're not willing to stop it, you're causing it. And so I won't tolerate any of it. Okay? And this is also too why I don't recommend group messages at all. I think that if you are, especially with we have a pod, I have my November runners where we just share content, but you as a leader / anyone and everyone who's on the Zoom going to watch this Zoom, you never want to go down with your junk, with your crap. Okay, with your negativity. You never want to pour that down. You want to have, and if I was Pam Souter, she would tell you that you have 2 minutes, I'm setting a timer, go. And then I never want to hear about it again. Because if you're not willing to find a solution for it, you don't have permission to whine about it. Okay, so if my team was doing that, shut down the chat. Shut it down. And or say, hey, Danielle, I'm going to private message you. Let's shift this and take it private, and ask her always, if you're going to coach someone, use the term, are you open to coaching? Because if I ask Danielle, I say, okay, you've been doing this for a couple months. Talk to me about that conversation in that chat. Well, I was frustrated and my check hasn't budged and I'm working harder and yada, yada, yada. Okay. Are you open to some coaching? No. Well, the conversation's over. When you're ready, you let me know. If she says, yeah, and to be honest, guys, no one's ever told me no. But if they do, just saying, that's how you would handle it. I'm not willing to talk to someone who's not coachable. And so if she says yes, like, yes, of course. Like, I'm so frustrated. The first thing I always ask is, how's your home life? And that one can hurt. Because usually when people are whining about something, it actually has nothing to do with that. Because I don't know, last time I checked, an extra $100 was still a blessing. Mm-hmm. Last time I checked, an extra $1,000 was still more than I had. Mm. And so remind them of the perspective of why they started. If you can't live on a budget happily where you're at, that's a personal problem that you also created, that you also can fix. And this is why Mark suggests not changing your lifestyle too soon. But if you're not happy with your check, ask for coaching. Be open to it looking a different way. What I did to go diamond is surely not what I do today. And so if you're doing the same thing every single month and you're whining about your paycheck, well, nothing changes if nothing changes.
So I kind of want to add, like, this is my own question after that, because I think, you know, if we're being honest, like, this is probably like a safe Zoom to talk about this. Everybody here in leadership has probably experienced something like this along the lines. So let's say that there is something like repetitive like that, not necessarily negative, but people are saying like, hey, I'm doing the work and it's not like their situation isn't changing or the situation isn't changing. Like, what tips can you give someone besides like, just keep doing it? Like, just keep, like, what action steps can you give someone?
So again, you guys, the first thing, even as, and I would say this is where you put them in the leadership position. And I love that Brittany and Briley are on this because we just had this conversation the other day. Once you know how to sign up customers and sign up distributors, your job is to grow. Your job is to study. Your job is to expand. Your job is to add people and keep recruiting. Like, and usually and I'll ask, and I'll break this down. When was the last time you messaged someone about the business? They lie, right? Or they're not doing the work internally. Again, that's ceiling. And so it's the same thing when people say, like, my husband whines about me being on my phone all the time. I'm sorry, that's your fault. That's not the company's fault. Nobody says you have to be on your phone 17 hours. So where's your self-discipline to get off? Where's your self-discipline to use what you're doing wisely? I do not get paid to sit on Facebook for 17 hours a day. That's not Facebook does not pay me. Mark Pentecost pays me to recruit new customers and recruit new distributors. So where's my time? Right? So if you're doing the same thing over and over, we're going to ask questions. What are they doing at the time? Have them pull up how much time they spend on Facebook on their phone. Oh, that's a reality check, right? How much time are you spending on Instagram? Yet you haven't shared a story in 6 months. How much time are you sitting scrolling or sharing YouTube videos that have nothing to do with anything besides how to make a Christmas gift? I don't know. Like, you have to find the self-discipline and ask them questions. Like, and some of them hurt because they know they're true. But again, if they're open to coaching, when was the last time you finished a book? How many books have you read this year? What are you doing with your time? When was the last time you worked out? When was the last time that you saw yourself as the CEO of your business versus an employee mindset? So ask them the questions. And if they're like, I make 16 posts on Facebook a day and nobody's commenting, okay, when was the last time that you commented on one of their posts? Okay, a really good book is called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vee. And you can't expect other people to come to you if you're just swinging. You get to engage. You get to build those relationships.
This is so
right. I always tell my team recently, I'm like, less social media, more study, like more expanding, more dreaming. Pam Sauter just recommended a book to me. and it's 9 hours. And I was like, oh, who likes 9-hour books? Like what? It seems like, I'm like, this is like a 6-hour class in school, and I hated school. But what do I want? I want what she has. So then I just have to tighten up my goal. And so my goal is to have it done by Sunday. I'm like, I have 9 hours. Yeah. And how fast, again, it's the same thing, the 10,000 cups. How fast do I want to get through this? Utilize it, apply it, see if it works or not, adjust it, and go on to the next one. But again, so many of us have all these Audible books, and you haven't set a goal to finish them. We call those flexible deadlines. If I don't finish it by Sunday, then I'll change my deadline. But I'm going to do, and again, this is the decision. It's the discipline. I just got finished a 3-day liquid fast, and today was day 4. And everyone's like, why are you doing it? To be honest, to see if I had the discipline to do it. To see how tempted I was when pumpkin pie was in my fridge. That's it. And a lot of times you have to expand your own mental capacity. We had a Friendsgiving during those 3 days, and we had potentials over for dinner. How tempted am I?
You didn't eat the pumpkin pie?
Nope. Not till last night.
Okay.
Once my 3 days was over, right? But again, you have to reward yourself.
Yeah.
And now today was day 4, and I did liquids all day until dinner, and I had steak and green beans. And I'm like, not horrible. But like the first day was so easy. But I had to make the full decision before the temptation. And I think a lot of us, so many people are like, I can't do that. I can't do that. And I'm like, I know you can't. Because you haven't made the decision. Doesn't shock me. I didn't do this for anyone besides myself. And there's a lot of times in your business where you're going to have to do things for you and grow your discipline and be crazy and do 3-day liquid fast. I don't know. Right?
So good.
Sucks, but it was cool at the same time. And I feel good. So
I think that you can relate that seriously to our business, because like nothing that is worth having is going to be easy. But remember, it's like hiking up that mountain, dude. It's just like the people. Oh my gosh, I could get into that, but I'm not going to right now because it can make me cry. Okay. What's your daily list look like? Like for just like building your business.
So it's pretty simple and basic. I don't have this extreme, crazy 16-hour day. But really I work 24/7. But because I'm involved, I work more on me than I do my business. Because I'm CEO and employee and leader and mom and coach and all the other things. When I wake up, and again, this changes on the season in my business. And maybe we can't do the same thing over and over again and again, expect a different result. And there's things, y'all, I'm terrified of. I'm so scared for this next season and what has to change in my daily. I'm having like panic attack about it, but I know it's exciting too. But as far as for my business, non-negotiable. And this is so easy and simple that it's also duplicatable. At least one post opportunity, whether you do Insta stories / Facebook stories. Okay. Opportunity post, share your story in some way, shape, or form. Also opportunity. Customer product post. Indirect usually is mine for products, and on my slides, on my Instagram, on my stories. I expand my network every single day, meaning I add on Instagram and Facebook. If you're maxed out on Facebook, delete. Okay. I'm going to be doing this business the rest of my life. Therefore, the same 5,000 friends aren't going to take me double ambassador. I haven't even met those people yet. So I expand on social media every single day. That takes 2 seconds flat. It's not that hard or long. And then I post on my team page, personal development, non-negotiable every single day. Every single day. Okay? Because I'm in school studying how to be a business owner / millionaire / the best version of myself. And that's going to go every single day. So every single day, personal development. But I think the minimum would be staying consistent with your opportunity posts, your story, because if I'm expanding new every day, I added, 1,000 followers on Instagram, but I haven't shared my story in 6 months. That's not going to work. Like, why am I adding if I'm not sharing, right? And then products every single day, whether that's me using them, a slide, something along those lines, and then expanding my market every single day, along with messaging from those stories, following up with those, and then personal development. And that's my business non-negotiable, depending, no matter how crazy I am, no matter what happens. Of course, there's more things that I do, but that's the basics. And that's, if you want to be successful, that's the minimum. But the minimum won't get you the maximum pay. So be willing to do a little bit more.
This is good. Okay, we've got 2 more questions.
Sure, let's go.
Okay, I feel like I built my chart. I feel like I've built my chart and then people always fall off. It's discouraging. How do I create momentum?
Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. Okay, so a few things. Perspective. I'm going to address this in a few different ways. Your chart is irrelevant in the fact that when you say I'm built for Ruby, but you're paid as a distributor. I'm built for Double Diamond, but you're paid as a Ruby. Okay, who do you have to help? This has nothing to do with you. Do you guys remember when I showed up to conference and I looked at my team and I said, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And I had 10 girls say, I want diamond. I want diamond. I want diamond. So my mindset went off of from what I need in my chart to I have 10 girls who have diamond charts. This has nothing to do with me and everything to do with the team. And when you turn that around, because here's my theory on this. When you build a home from the roof, it's going to fall. And looking at your chart will fall. But when I build a solid foundation, meaning I'm going to help this person go 500 BV, I'm going to help this person go 500 BV, this one go Ruby, this one go Emerald, you're going to get what you want. And your foundation is solid. So when you have that goal, you're going to hit it. And then guess what's going to happen? This Ruby is no longer your Ruby, but her qualified leg is taken off and she's your new Ruby. And when this Emerald decides that an $800 paycheck is good for her, I have 2 other Rubies that I'm going to bump up Emerald. And I'm going to still go into the foundation of my home and make sure there's no leaks. But this also goes back to recruiting. So many times, and this is just my theory, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, so please don't take it that way. My theory is we celebrate too soon. Okay? Box for Ambassador Diamond, Triple Diamond, and then what do? Okay, I'm ready. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready for Triple. I'm being, right? Can I get a name? This is the truth, you guys. This is the truth. Ruby even. Box 4, and it's we celebrate. Like, cool, whew, can breathe. I'm ready for Diamond. And you stop recruiting. Because you see that the check marks are done where the boxes are. And so you stop recruiting when in fact, unless you're good at diamond, you should constantly be moving and recruiting. And so if your team's falling apart, that's because you are bringing in just enough. You're bringing in new just enough as it's going out. Same thing with volume. If you're the only one enrolling loyal customers, you're bringing in just enough to keep up with the ones that are going off out of their 3 months. And you're like, oh, this is like insane. I just can't keep up. My volume's not moving. It's because you're bringing in just enough as it's going out. So do something different. If you want triple, you erase your triple diamond chart and you start putting individual charts out there. If you want Ambassador Diamond, erase your chart and start finding out who are they, and then build from the foundation. You don't just talk to the presidential. You talk to her triple and her double and that emerald and that ruby. They're all on your team. Don't depend on the presidential to build her house from the top either. Go to that foundation. Build those relationships, you guys. That's legacy money down there. But when I went ambassador in that last double diamond in the old way, 12 levels down. What if I had just depended on that roof? On that original person? I would have never won ambassador.
This is so good.
It makes sense.
This is so good.
I'm going to check out that chat.
There's lots of questions in that chat. I have one more on here, and then if you want to go through, and I know there's a lot in there. This is one, I remember you had spoke with us before about how like your calendar is everything, like not just for the business, but for your life. And I know that everybody's a different form of busy, and you say if it's not important, it doesn't go on the calendar. So how do you organize your day in your calendar?
I don't have it by me. I write out and leave room for opportunities. So I don't want to have my schedule from 7 a.m., 7:30, 7:15, 7:45, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8. No. Okay. I want to write what's important to me and a deadline, AKA by noon, a deadline to finish it. Because here's the thing, you either did or you didn't. Your schedule is not really gray. It's black or white. Either you made the post today or you didn't. It's not that, hard to understand. So for my schedule daily, I love to leave room for possibilities. Okay. But I also want to plan and it's hard because you're going to hear mentors that say, don't plan 3 days any more than 3 days in advance. And I'm thinking, what? Like I'm planning into July next year. And so then you're going to hear people that say, I literally don't know my schedule, what happens tomorrow until I go to bed. Like that would drive me crazy. But there might come a time when I need to hear that. Okay. So for me in my schedule, I write it down and then I always add, this is just me being super transparent, 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. That's to play catch up. That's to sit in my car. If I have gymnastics, I'm like, okay, I want to be there at 6 o'clock. It starts at 6:15. And so then it leaves me 15 minutes to fill in the blanks of the things that I didn't plan for, right? And then 15 minutes after, when we get home, I want to be able to sit in my car, my kids leave, and I get so much work done in my car. But I get this done and I can decompress before I go in and clock in as mom. If I have a chiropractor appointment, I schedule it 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after. And so it leaves that gap to where I'm not like running late. Like that is so stressful. So write it down on your calendar and then leave room for openings, right? So one thing I've started doing is, since we've launched pop-up shops, which who's excited about pop-up shops? Oh my gosh, they're game changing everything. With pop-up shops, I want to get in front of a new distributor every single day, face to face. So this is getting out of my house. And this is just something that I'm doing. I'm not saying go do it, but if you want something new and fun, it's exciting. So I've been scheduling days to go to different cities to meet with different distributors. And all we're doing is talking to local businesses to set up pop-up shops. And so that's something that I've recently shifted in my schedule. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do between 1 and 3? That's my opportunity to drive to a city and launch them. So write it down on the calendar. But for me too, I can't put it in my iPhone. I need something to get off of the screen, focus on my schedule, and make it happen. Date nights on my calendar. Friday at 6 p.m. Going to a hockey game. I wrote it down. This Zoom, important to me, on my calendar. And then I also set an 8 zillion alarms. Like Siri is my assistant and she just helps me out. But having a good calendar, you guys, like, is crucial.
This was really good.
Is there any other questions?
Those are the ones I had written down. There's a ton. Do you want me to just scroll up real quick and just see?
Yeah. Love my car. My story about my first wrap party. Yep. Still making money on that wrap party 7 years later. You know, Josh did the math on that wrap party. It was about 3 hours, too long. But it was my first one. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any help. And over the last 7 years from that 3 hours, we've made about what he figured out math wise was about $4,000 from that first 3 hours of party.
And that is residual income.
Yep. And it's been probably more than that now, but just from that original 3 hours. It's crazy.
Someone says, what was that leadership podcast you talked about?
Craig Groeschel. It's free. They're 20 minutes and they're epic. Start with episode 1. Otherwise, because he references like later ones, just start at episode 1.
I put Craig Rochelle in the comments. That's what I got for trying to be smart and helpful.
Groeschel.
Craig.
Groeschel. Craig Groeschel. Okay. I don't share or scroll. I comment, I post a message or follow up before and after outlet. I don't cold message. Will you be like a product tester? But yeah. And you guys, it's just got to be open to something changes. If nothing changes, nothing changes, you know? And a lot of this too, success isn't about getting the tasks done. Success is in your mind. That 1% who makes it to the top of the companies have a CEO mindset. It's not a matter of if it's going to be done. It's just when. Like, they believe so much that they're like, I already know what's going to happen. Like, it's this crazy mindset shift. And that book, Build to Last, if I'm going to recommend any book for any person in the industry, it's Build to Last. It's phenomenal. It's so good. So good. And again, you guys, this was a leadership Zoom. So there's going to be some questions in here that you can get with your sponsor and they can ask, that they can answer.
Hey, I just got one more question in like a private message. We got time?
Yeah, go for it.
She says, can you ask her about losing rank and how to pick up and get going?
Well, welcome. So, how do I word this? Remember how I said the hardest thing about leadership is what you want to say, what you have to say?
No, I think I just say it, girl.
Okay. So rank doesn't necessarily mean pay. And if you are somebody who needs the title, then work towards that title. But usually, if you, again, go back to the foundation of your business, when you were, let's say, triple diamond, how many diamonds did you have? How many do you have now? Okay, well, at triple, for me, I had over 15 diamonds. If I lost triple, how many do I have now? 4. Okay, so if I want triple back, my main goal and focus is to build another 10 diamonds. And so that's going to be what I'm posting on my social media. You've got to find that fire again of what do you want and who do you need to help? Because if you, and I'm going to be super, super honest, if you focus on you going back to your rank, chances are it's going to be a long time till you get there. But I remember losing Prez, I think. Ambassador or Prez, one of the two. And it got to the point where I was sick and I literally was I was worn out because I was completely focused on my rank. And that was also another hard lesson to learn, that why am I so focused on me? When if you focus on other people, you guys, I promise you, Zig Ziglar said, one of my first mentors I ever had in this business, the best of the best, Zig Ziglar, he's freaking phenomenal. If you've never listened to his stuff, he's incredible. He says, if you help enough people get what they want, you will always have more than enough of what you want. If you don't have what you want, you haven't helped enough people get what they want. And that's the turnaround on it. We're so focused on me, my business, my goals. You need to have your goals. You need to have your business. But who are you not helping? And where's your focus at? When I give, I'm great. When I give my time, when I give my advice, when I give other people $40 paychecks, then I'm good. But if I'm so focused on me, So if you want your rank back, erase your chart and live in the mindset too. Again, on the first of the month, I have no team. In the back of my mind, that's how I work. I have no team. I'm not dependent on a double. I'm not dependent on the 6 I enrolled last month. I have no team. That keeps me going. And then who are my 2 to 5 people on my team that it is my job, my duty, and my obligation to make sure that they promote? Not if they want it or not. You still have to build this business for you. You know, it's so funny to me that when we're building our way to a diamond, I enrolled every single distributor on my team going diamond, right? And maybe that's where you were too. You're like, gosh, I feel like I'm the only one. Well, good. You'll have a higher paycheck. But if I sit here and I'm like, well, that Emerald's not doing anything, I don't want to pay her. At what cost? Go into her organization. Who are they? Her 2 rubies could be your next emeralds. But if you're so focused on one person who's not working, and again, my mind is, unless they're canceled, they're working. So if I build 2 rubies and all of a sudden I have to go up to the emerald who's not working and say, hey girl, you got 2 rubies underneath you. You're a qualified leg away from being emerald. And she handles that qualified leg. Am I going to be mad? No. So shift your perspective on how you're looking at your team and your chart. And again, it's probably a growing of what you're worthy of. Who do you have to become to be a presidential leader? Who do you have to become to be ambassador? Because not always does your rank affect your pay. And it's, are you mad at the rank? Or are you mad at the pay? I can control a pay. I have distributors making more than diamonds. And there's triples who make more than ambassadors. And so again, it's because they take off the title and they look at the actions. If you want $1,000 raise, boo, give it to yourself. So really it's not that you're mad about the rank. The rank will come. But you're mad at the pay, and you can affect the pay. That's true.
Dang,
True.
this was like really good. I really appreciate all of this information, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm super grateful for this. I think sometimes, like, I feel like a lot of these questions, even I know for me, like, I was like, you know what, like, this is, I mean, not even for me, like, I'm not saying even for me, like, I just feel like as leaders, I feel like a lot of us go through the same struggles or like have these thoughts, and I just love that we could do this Zoom and like have a place to just really be real and, you know what I mean, and like hear these, and this helped me so much. And I know from all my chats and looking at this that it helped a lot of other people.
Good. Really, and you guys, as we go into 2020, you know, I got LASIK a few years ago, and my vision is 2020. And I can't, I'm getting like, ooh, all the chills. Like, I can't even think of anything coming in the way of this crystal clear vision of this company. And I'm so thankful and grateful that I don't have distractions, you know? And I think that these questions need to be answered now so you can move. We're already in 2020. I'm already writing November 2020 as if it's already happening. I just finished it before we got on the Zoom. $85,000 a month. It is done. It is handled. It is done. November of 2020. And like, that makes me want to vomit and throw up at the same time as being like, okay, you said that before, Amber. How is this going to happen? Like, not welcome here. Not today. Not ever. No, thank you. But you have to get clear on what you want. As vague as you are is as vague as the universe is going to be. You know, what are you declaring for 2020? And is it these small things that are holding you back from being ambassador? Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many lives that we need to change. And that's my calling. And you wouldn't be on this call or watching it later if it wasn't yours either. Who do you need to become in the next month and a half, during all the holidays, during all the temptations, during when everyone else is like slowing down, eating their pumpkin pie? I'm out of here, man. When everyone else is sitting by the fire on Thanksgiving, you better be out doing a pop-up shop at your local grocery store while everyone's waiting for Black Friday. That's the difference between a CEO and an employee. This is my business. Be willing to do what no one else is willing to do. Oh my gosh, this chat is crazy.
Well, we appreciate you so much, dude.
Of course. Now go do something with it, you know? And this is something else that I kind of want to, we'll end on this. Stop waiting for a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about that for a second? Stop waiting for it. The deal is you're starting a $1 billion business for $99.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I sign up on $99, they have skin in the game. All you need is 3. Teach those 3 to do 3 to do 3 to do 3. We have the best opportunity right now. And we get a 40% discount on the product. So do our customers. Guess what that is? Year round. I ain't waiting for a Christmas deal, okay? I'm not waiting for the kits to drop down to $50 again. I wish they would never. But that's because I know what I have in my hands, and it's worth far more than $99, and $99 is a dang good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so why do you think people sign up with me at $99 all day long? Because at $99, the value that we offer is far greater. But if you don't believe that, you won't. And if you're waiting around for a good deal, you're going to be waiting around for a while. And everyone else is going to move past you. It's the same thing I told our potentials last night. I said, you know, I was showing him, like, I sign up all my distributors on Facebook and Instagram. And he was like, oh, no, I would never send my information via Facebook or Instagram. And I was like, well, good luck in the business. I would. What do you want? My social? My identity's been stolen twice. Not worried about it. And that's the truth. And I literally have this attitude that everyone sends it to me. I set the tone for the good deals, guys. Mm-hmm. This is a great deal. Right now, before Christmas, oh my gosh, it's the best deal. Does that make sense? Like, you control the energy behind what you're offering. If you're like, oh, it's $99, I'm terrified to share my story. Oh my gosh, I don't want to oh, but I got started for $20. Well, you got lucky or in at the right time. But I would pay $1,000 to launch this business. So therefore, every person I talk to, $99 is no big deal. But I believe that. You may not believe that. Get that belief out there. How you interpret it is how your market's going to interpret it. As trusting as you are is as trusting as they will be. Don't wait for a freaking deal. This is a business. Deals are bonuses. They're not times to push. The time to push is right now when everyone else is asleep and waiting for that good deal. You pay for what you get. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna title this thing. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Leadership, Amber. Mm-hmm.
Touche.
Good. Well,
but I think too, you guys, if you've completed your steps to success this month, drop it in the chat. I want to just give you a quick shout out. Or working on it.
whoops.
Tell me what you got. 2 distributors. Yeah, dude. Caitlin, of course you did, dude. Of course. Done. 5 DTs complete. 2. Yes. And again, you guys set a goal. Where's that flexible deadline? When is it your job to complete your steps to success? You don't have a goal, you won't. So good. You guys are killing it out there. I'm really proud of you guys. And if you're going to conference, like, can we just like hug? I mean, this would be so fun. But conference is everything, you guys. Make sure to get there. It's going to be insane this year. And I mean, I just keep getting the willies, the good ones, but 2020 will be so freaking incredible. And I've never been more excited for a year than this.
Amber, if you want to tell us what's happening at conference, we'll keep
Listen, Linda. No.
Oh, your secret's safe with all 200 of us. Just fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So annoying.
For sure. Lies, Jack, lies.
All right.
But I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys took something away from this, share it with your team. Jack will have it up on YouTube, on her YouTube, and share it. You know, I think that knowledge is nothing unless it's shared or learned or executed on. So thanks for spending the time with us tonight. Thanks for being vulnerable and asking those questions. I know some of them, none of us want to ask the hard questions, but good leaders ask good questions. Mm-hmm. So don't ever be afraid to ask questions to people. And if you guys got something from this, tag us on social media, say thanks, say what you learned, whatever. And I'm excited for all the things. But anything else I can do, Jack?
No, girl, you're awesome.
Mm. You are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My phone is insane right now. I had to flip it over. That's crazy.
We love you, dude. Thank you so much. We'll get this up on YouTube tonight. Let's say tomorrow morning.
Don't lie.
Let's be honest with ourselves. By tomorrow morning. And I'm Pacific time, so if you're Eastern time, that's actually like afternoon. So just saying.
So chill.
Everyone just chill, okay? Okay. I promise. So do it before conference. No, I'll do it tonight. By tomorrow at least. Okay.
Flexible deadlines, Jackie. Flexible deadlines.
All right, dude. We love you. Thank you guys for coming.
All right, you guys. Love you. Have a good night.
Okay, bye.